You know that feeling when something happens and every cell in your body screams, no? When reality shifts and you just refuse to let it be real? That's where most of us live for longer than we realize. In that space between what is and what we wish was still true. Resistance feels like protection. It feels like if you just hold on tight enough, reality might bend back to the way it was. If you just don't accept it, maybe it won't be real. But here's what actually happens. Resistance doesn't change reality. It just burns you out while reality stays exactly the same. Think about the last time something changed that you didn't want to change. A relationship ending, a job disappearing, a person leaving, your body not working the way it used to, your life taking a turn you never planned for. What did you do? You probably fought it. You probably spent weeks, months, maybe years trying to make it not be true. And all that time, while you were fighting, life was moving forward without you. Because that's the thing about resistance. It keeps you stuck in a moment that's already gone. You're standing there, arguing with what already happened, trying to negotiate with a reality that doesn't negotiate. And every day you argue, you lose. Not sometimes, every single time. Our minds are wired this way, by the way. Change registers as threat. Your whole nervous system lights up like something's wrong, something's dangerous, something needs to be fought or fled from. It's not your fault that your first response is no. That's ancient wiring trying to keep you safe. But here's where it gets interesting. That wiring was designed for actual threats, for things you could fight or run from, not for permanent changes, not for things that already happened and can't unhappen. When you use resistance against something that's already done, you're not protecting yourself, you're just exhausting yourself. So, what does resistance actually look like? It looks like denial, like pretending it's not real yet. It looks like bargaining, like maybe if you do everything right, things will go back. It looks like constantly checking, like maybe this time when you look, reality will have changed its mind. It looks like staying frozen, unable to move forward, because moving forward means admitting the old reality is gone. And underneath all of that, exhaustion, because resistance takes so much energy. You're carrying the weight of what is and the weight of what you wish was, and trying to hold both at the same time. That's why people in resistance feel so tired, not from what happened, from fighting what happened. By the way, our shared space of light and awareness is on its way to 100,000 people. Thank you to everyone who subscribes and brings this moment closer. Now here's where the shift begins. The journey from resistance to acceptance isn't about suddenly being okay with what happened. It's not about liking it. It's not about saying it was good or right or fair. It's about something much simpler and much more profound. Acceptance is just acknowledging what is. That's it. It's saying this is real. This happened. This is the situation I'm in right now. Not because you want it to be, just because it is. And that simple acknowledgement changes everything. Because when you stop using all your energy to fight reality, that energy becomes available for something else, for actually living, for adapting, for finding a way forward that works with what is, instead of what you wish was. But getting there isn't instant. There's a whole journey between resistance and acceptance, and most people go through it in stages. Sometimes forward, sometimes backward, sometimes sideways. It's not a straight line. It's a process. At first, you're in full rejection mode. Everything in you says no. This isn't happening. This can't be real. You might even know intellectually that it is real, but emotionally, you're not there yet. You're still arguing with reality, still trying to find the loophole that makes it not true. Then something shifts. Not full acceptance. More like you start to tolerate it. Like you're learning to live with this new reality even though you hate it. You're making adjustments. Small ones. You're changing your routines. You're figuring out how to function in this new situation. You still don't like it. You still wish it was different, but you're surviving it. This is where most people think acceptance means resignation, like you're just giving up. But that's not what's happening. You're not giving up. You're giving in. There's a difference. Giving up means you stop trying to live. Giving in means you stop trying to change what can't be changed and start working with what can be. As you keep moving through this, you reach a stage where you're allowing things to be as they are. You still have moments where you think about how things used to be, where you feel that pang of loss or anger or sadness. But those moments don't consume you anymore. They come, you feel them, and they go. You're living in the present, even though the present isn't what you wanted. And here's what nobody tells you about this stage. It's where life starts to feel lighter. Not because the situation changed, because you changed. You're not carrying that constant weight of resistance anymore. You're not fighting every single day. You're just being with what is. And being with what is takes so much less energy than fighting what is. Then sometimes something even stranger happens. You start to see why this had to happen. Not in some cosmic destiny way necessarily. More like you see what the experience taught you. You see how it changed you. You see strengths you didn't know you had. You see perspectives you never would have gained. You see that the person you are now, on the other side of this thing you resisted so hard, is someone you actually respect. This doesn't mean the thing that happened was good. It doesn't mean you're glad it happened. It just means you can see the whole picture now. You can see that even terrible things change us in ways that aren't entirely terrible. That we're capable of more than we thought. That we can survive what we thought would destroy us. But here's what you need to understand about this whole journey. Acceptance isn't the end of feeling. It's not about becoming numb or detached or unbothered. You still feel everything. The difference is that you're not adding suffering on top of the pain. Pain is what happened. Suffering is fighting what happened. When you accept, the pain might still be there, but the suffering starts to dissolve. You're not making it worse by resisting it. You're just letting it be what it is. And what it is gradually becomes something you can live with. Think of it like this. Reality is like water. You can try to hold it back with your hands, but it's going to flow anyway. Resistance is standing there with your hands out, exhausting yourself trying to stop the flow. Acceptance is letting your hands drop and learning to move with the water instead of against it. When you move with reality instead of against it, you discover something unexpected. You're stronger than you thought, more flexible, more capable of adapting. All that energy you were using to resist becomes available for creating something new, for building a life that works with what is, instead of mourning what isn't. And the thing is, acceptance doesn't mean you stop wanting things to be different. You can accept what is and still work toward changing what can be changed. The difference is you're not stuck anymore. You're not frozen in that moment of no. You're moving. You're adapting. You're alive in your actual life, not in the life you wish you still had. This is where real power lives, not in controlling everything, not in making reality bend to your will, in being real with what's actually happening and responding to that, instead of responding to what you wish was happening. That's where choice lives. That's where freedom lives. Because here's the truth that nobody wants to hear until they're ready. Fighting reality doesn't change reality. It just makes you miss your life. All the time you spend resisting is time you're not actually living. You're stuck in a loop, replaying what was, wishing for what isn't, missing what is. But when you accept what is, you step back into your actual life, the one that's happening right now. And yeah, maybe it's not the life you planned. Maybe it's not the life you wanted. But it's the life you have. And there's something powerful about fully showing up for the life you actually have, instead of half living while you wish for a different one. This is the journey. From no to eventually okay. From fighting to flowing. From exhaustion to energy. From being stuck in what was to being present in what is. It's not easy. It's not fast. But it's the only way through, because the only way out of suffering is through acceptance. Not because acceptance makes everything okay, because acceptance makes everything real. And when things are real, you can work with them. You can build with them. You can live with them. You stop wasting your life trying to make the past come back and start using your life to create what comes next. That's the shift. That's the transformation. That's what happens when you finally stop fighting and start being. If this video changed something in you, write in the comments, "I accept what is." Write it as your promise. Nobody